Yes, guys, how's everyone doing? Welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel, where it is time for the match preview of Liverpool versus Sheffield United. The Reds are back in action after the Merseyside derby, and they're playing against one of the surprise packages from last season, Sheffield United. And it has to be said, one of the teams that basically I fell in love with watching last season. The way that the fullbacks were fantastic last season. But joining me is a very special guest. I have Nick Wylie from In Good Nick, the Sheffield United way. How are you doing?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Thanks for having me on. It's always great to talk about Sheffield United.
Well, you could say that, but it has been a tough start for you guys, hasn't it?
Yeah, I probably should have put a little disclaimer in there. It was good talking about Sheffield United until the lockdown period, and then we just completely lost all our momentum. Obviously, with fans not being able to go into the stadiums as well, I think that affects us more than a lot of different teams because on paper, you could probably say we've got one of the weakest squads in the Premier League. I think a lot of Sheffield United fans would agree with that. There's not, other than kind of last season when we bought the likes of Ollie McBurney, Sander Berger, and then this season Ryan Brewster, we've not really put our hands in our pockets too much before the Premier League season. I think probably John Egan at 4 million was probably the most we'd spent. And in the Championship, you see money being thrown around as well. Maybe obviously not like the Premier League, but like our neighbours Sheffield Wednesday buying a misfiring striker for 10 million. And it's like we'd really put together a really, really good Championship side. And obviously we got promoted with a shoestring budget, really. 4 millions, 2 millions, 1 millions, free. This is the same side that brought us up from the Championship. So, like I said, it's very much a weak, talented side, if you like. And we thrive on kind of like the fans getting behind him, the momentum. But also, Chris Wilder, for me, is still, even we could be bottom of the league with 0 points, and I'd still say Chris Wilder is one of the best managers in the Premier League. If he was given more money, more license to kind of buy the players that he needed to. We've still spent a lot of money, but at the same time, we're having to kind of plug gaps, and we're having to kind of buy players that that fit our system. And it would be lovely to spend kind of like 40 million on Jota, like you guys have been able to do. But we just can't afford those sorts of players, and those sorts of players don't want to come to Bramall Lane either.
Yeah,
so it's quite difficult.
It has, as I said, it has been a tough start. But you did get a point against Fulham, which was a very, very good point in the end. Billy Sharp did get the equaliser after that. But let's talk about some of your signings, because I was looking at some of your signings that you signed. Ramsdale in goal. Now I know he was there before he went to Bournemouth. What have you made of the signings that you've made so far?
If we're talking about kind of Ramsdale for starters, I thought I would have liked to have seen a more experienced goalkeeper signed. I was kind of banging the drum for Ben Foster for a couple of seasons, I reckon. Obviously, he's 36, 38, something like that. Maybe not quite 38. But I think we could still probably get a couple of seasons out of him. And I think for a team like us that are still trying to find our feet in the Premier League, he would have been perfect because he was so good last season. He obviously let a lot of goals in, but the Watford defence was shocking. We obviously saw him be brilliant I don't think he made a mistake last season. He was that good. But you could say that Ramsdale was in a similar situation. And for a young English goalkeeper, I think it was 18 million that we spent on it. I don't think it's too bad. But and at the same time, he's a great lad around the training ground. Apparently, he's not one of these goalkeepers that if he makes a mistake, he's going to kind of hide. He's going to be sticking his chest out and being like, "No, I'm going to carry on. I'm going to carry on." And he has made a mistake or two this season. Some that he may have. Well, we keep on saying that Dean Henderson would have probably saved that. It was always going to happen. Because Dean Henderson had 2 amazing seasons at Bramall Lane. Maybe he made an odd mistake or two, but he kept us in so many games that we allowed him to kind of make those mistakes. But it's been a tough start for Ramsdale. He's not had the protection that Dean Henderson had last season. Dean Henderson had got so many clean sheets because of that defence as well. And I think kind of losing Jack O'Connell early is a massive, massive blow. Johnny Egan getting sent off as well, having a one-match ban and playing kind of 70 minutes without him away at Aston Villa. It's been really tough. But going back on what you were saying about transfers, Ryan Brewster's obviously the big one that we brought in from you guys. Probably after this video, I might ask you a few questions about Brewster. But we've not really seen much of him. He came on against Fulham, didn't really have much time to shine, didn't see him touch the ball too much. So it'd be nice to see him in this game. Trying to think who else we've signed now. That's the thing with us. We bring in these signings, but we don't throw them directly straight into the mix. We kind of try and bring them in gradually. We've obviously got Ampadu on loan from Chelsea. Kind of played more international football than league football in his career. So it's kind of trying to bed him into our way of playing because obviously, with the overlapping centre-backs and stuff, that's where he's kind of playing at the moment. Maybe not as an overlapping centre-back, but we're trying to bring him into the defence. But with John Egan being kind of like our main kind of central centre-back, that's where he likes to play Ethan Ampadu. So we're not going to remove John Egan out of the team to put in Ampadu there, but he's also really good at defensive midfield, as we've seen for Wales. So, to bring in players that kind of do a few different roles, and that's why he's brought in Ollie Burke as well. I think Ollie Burke might start up front against you guys, to be honest, because he's rapid. He's maybe not the best technical player that we've got, but he's rapid, and he'll definitely put your defenders under a bit of pressure with how quick he is.
Yeah, and also the fact that Virgil van Dijk is not there. Do you go into this game thinking you could actually get at Liverpool centre-backs?
I think after watching him against Aston Villa, you've got to say that this is probably the best time to play Liverpool. I don't know if it is, because obviously Van Dijk's out, massive, massive miss. Alisson out, again, massive miss, because I don't think Adrian's one of the better goalkeepers in the league. No. But the problem has been especially at Anfield last season, we barely got in your half. I think we had a David McGoldrick shot from about 30 yards. That's the best we could come up against you guys. So I'm expecting us to at least try and get a few more percentage of possession than we did last time. I just did a video with a guy on my channel, and apparently we got 25% possession against you at Anfield. So let's hope it's at least 35 or something like that this time.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, both games last season were, they were narrow wins, and I know the 1-0 win at Bramall Lane, which I have to say you put us under a lot of pressure. You probably deserved a point that day as well. And at Anfield, you did have your chances, and as you say, but Chris Wilder was very complimentary about the way Liverpool played against Sheffield United at Anfield. So, but no, to be honest, I actually reckon that Sheffield United should look at the Villa game and think they could get a few confidence. And do you think Mr. Brewster will start this game, or do you think he'll be on the bench?
There's a lot of Sheffield United fans saying that he will start. I don't think he will. And the reason why I'm saying that is because this season, away from home, we have played Ollie Burke as kind of like, I want to say 2 up front, which we normally do, but David McGoldrick drops so deep that he kind of almost is an attacking midfielder or just in front of the midfield. And then Ollie Burke is kind of as far up as possible, as kind of like that outlet for kind of when we've got the ball off you guys and then just get it long to him. I'm not saying that we're going to be playing long ball all game or whatever, but I think that that's how he'll play again. He may not do. He may surprise us and play Brewster. But yeah, I would like to see Brewster, but I do think he'll go with what he knows, trying to put Liverpool defenders under pressure with a really quick, strong striker like Ollie Berg. But obviously, Brewster's going to want to score against you guys, isn't he? He's going to want to prove that he would have been good enough to get into your squad or into your team or whatever. Do you think this would have been a game that if you would have held on to him, he may have featured in?
Yeah, do you know what? I mean, you could look at some of the teams this season that are in the Premier League. I think he might have played against West Brom. I think he might have played against Fulham. Might have played, against your Palaces, your Brightons as well. I was gutted when he left. I'm not going to lie. I think every Liverpool fan I have spoken to said that they were really gutted that Brewster left. So, he's your player now, and you know what? I think every Liverpool fan I've spoken to actually thinks he could start on tomorrow. So do you know what?
He could do, mate. He could do, because he's going to have that bit between his teeth to try and prove Klopp wrong that he shouldn't have let him go. But yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting times, and he's something that we haven't got. We've got. I don't know if you've seen much of LIVSHU. He was brilliant for about 10 games last season, and he's a very, very much a confidence player. When he's not on form, he's terrible. But he's probably one of the quickest players in the Premier League. He's injured, so the problem with that is that without LIVSHU and without obviously Ollie Burke came in this season, we have no pace in the team whatsoever. Like Baldock and then Stevens are quickish, Chris Basham quickish, but they're not. Like LIVSHU was the only quick player that we had last season. I know Brewster's not rapid, but he's certainly quicker than Billy Sharp, David McGoldrick, certainly quicker than these kind of early 30s sort of players. So it's nice to see. I'm absolutely. I can't wait to see Brewster. I really can't.
Yeah, he was terrific in pre-season, and every Liverpool fan thought this is going to be it. This is going to be his time to be on the bench, come off the bench, but it just didn't really happen. And do you know what? I think the money that we got for him, was it 23 million? I think it was, and I think there's a buyback clause in there as well. Whether we do that or not is another matter. Let me ask you about Liverpool. What have you made of them this season? Knowing that they are the Premier League champions, what have you made of their start to the season?
Weird. Really, really odd, because there was no reason for you to kind of concede 7 against Villa. I'm going to stop bringing that up, by the way, I promise. But there was no reason for that. You've been great going forward. Obviously, 4 goals against Leeds, first game of the season. Got a bit lucky to win that game in the end. It's just your defence that's been even Van Dijk's made mistakes this season. Yeah. And I was really surprised. I wanted you guys to give Leeds an absolute tonking for that first game of the season. And when I saw you go 1-0 up, I'm like, yeah, here we go, can't wait. Because we have a bit of banter with Leeds fans, and I'm just a bit gutted that they've turned out to be this season's Sheffield United. Which it seems, because we've got quite a similar style to Leeds in the sense of kind of up and at them, very much kind of pressurized football, like getting on top of the opposition and them not what to do really, and kind of also try to double up on players. And Leeds have done that brilliant this season. We've just not at all. But yeah, it's encouraging signs for us that you're not particularly playing well at the back, but at the same time, it could be the best time to play Liverpool. It could also be the worst time to play Liverpool, because you guys are trying to get that bit of form back, and with the defence being under so much scrutiny over how many goals you've conceded this season, they're going to want to get a clean sheet. And obviously you did that against Ajax last night. You're going to want to do that again, aren't you, really?
Yeah. No, to be honest, it's been a weird start to the season, and as you say, conceding 7 against Villa was. I think everyone will say that was a freak result. I don't think that's going to happen again. But do you know what? This Premier League season has been so unpredictable. So you know what? Anything could happen tomorrow. Anything could happen tomorrow. What would be your starting 11 for Sheffield United tomorrow?
I think my starting 11 and Chris Wilder's starting 11 might be a bit different. I'll tell you what I expect the lineup to be. Obviously, Ramsdale in the net. We'll be going with Chris Basham, John Egan, and then probably Jack Robinson, even though I don't know if you saw any of the Fulham game. He was the one who handballed, handled the ball for some reason when he's going. I don't know why he's going up like that, and then won the penalty at the other end. So bit of a mixed game for him. I personally wouldn't put him in there. I think he's been quite poor defensively this season, and he doesn't do the overlapping centre-back role that Jack O'Connell does. He sits back and defends, and if he's not defending well enough and he's not getting forward, he shouldn't be playing for me. So I'd put Ethan Ampadu in there. I'd like to see him there. But also at the same time, we had Max Lowe, our left wing back that we got from Derby. He played against Fulham and came off with double vision or something like that. He flew straight into Loftus-Cheek, and Loftus-Cheek is a big lad. Flew into him and then bounced off him. So I don't know if he's going to be fit to play, and he might play Ender Stevens at left centre-back, which he's done quite a bit, and he did against Fulham. So that's what the defence could look like. Fleck's injured, probably our best player, our most creative player. Fleck's out for 6 weeks. I think Chris Wilder said, I think Chris Wilder said that we've got worse injury problems than Liverpool have with Van Dijk, because we're missing two of our best players in Jack O'Connell and John Fleck, because that left-hand side is where a lot of our chances come from, because Jack O'Connell obviously gets to the byline and puts balls in. Fleck is very, very creative in those areas, and that's what we've really lacked. So it's probably going to be John Lundstram again. It's probably going to be Ollie Norwood at defensive midfield, and then it's probably going to be Sander Berger on the right-hand side centre mid. But I'll tell you what, if Sander Berger plays well, we could be in for a good day, because he's been excellent this season. He's so big and so strong on that ball, and he's quick as well for when he's on the ball, and he just knocks players around. I think he's getting more and more confidence to do that. I thought he was excellent against Fulham and just creating chances from anywhere, really. And then, like I said, I think it's going to be David McGoldrick as kind of like that striker just off the front man, trying to create something, maybe even getting in there and creating some sort of like a four-man midfield. Because let's be honest, I don't think the fullbacks will be flying forward as much in this match. I don't think Chris Basham at centre-back will be flying forward either. So I think we'll keep it quite compact, the back five, and then maybe even kind of have a couple of defensive midfielders in front as well. Because Chris Wilder does like to do that against the big teams. I think last season, Man City away, we defended so well. And we just literally had Lys Mousset just sat on the last man, just running onto through balls. And we literally sat back and defended so well. We got really unlucky in that game. Yeah. But I feel like that's what we're kind of going to do in this game as well.
It's going to be a really interesting game. And yeah, I totally agree with John Fleck. He is a big, big miss. He's a great, great player for you guys. I remember him at Rangers. I remember him in the Scotland team as well. Like he's so important. So yeah, for him to be missing is a big, big blow, and it's 6 weeks as well. So that does kind of rule him out of Scotland duty, which will probably be good for you guys as well. But yeah, he is a big miss. How do I see Liverpool lining up? Well, there is talk that Alisson is back. I wouldn't risk him.
Why did you have to say that? No, don't risk him. Do not risk him. It's not worth it. It's only Sheffield United.
I'm always going to say this. I wouldn't risk him. I would not risk him. I would keep him probably for West Ham. I think West Ham is the game anyway. He's going to come back anyway. But no, for me, I wouldn't risk him. I've heard Thiago's back. Matip might be back, but I'm going to say it'll be Adrian in goal, because I'm not risking Alisson. I think if Alisson gets injured again, then, it's stupid playing him. So Adrian in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Gomez, Fabinho, I thought he was excellent against Ajax, and
I've heard good things about that guy. I didn't see it, but I heard he was excellent, and obviously cleared the ball off the line as well, didn't he? That everyone's going on about.
He was excellent. Andy Robertson plays his 100th Liverpool game tomorrow, which is incredible. So he's going to play. Yeah. Then I'm going to play Jordan Henderson. I think Henderson will start. He was rested against Ajax, came on in the second half, which was very, very surprising. Thiago, I think he will come back in. I think Thiago will play. Then I'm going to go Wijnaldum, and then the front three speaks for itself. Mohamed Salah, Bobby Firmino, and Sadio Mane. But there is talk that Jota could possibly start this game after his showing midweek.
That doesn't help at all, because Jota, I know how good he is. He's obviously, we all know how good he was for Wolves. 41 million, whatever it was that you signed him for. He's maybe not going to be as important for you guys as he was for Wolves, because he's coming into a front three of like probably the best front three in the world. So it's going to be difficult for him to kind of bed his way in there, but he's a great player. And I was hoping my co-host on the channel had a chat with his mate who's a big Liverpool fan, who's from This Is Anfield website, and he was saying that you were going to be playing all these kind of second string players, and I'm like, please. But from what you've just said, that sounds horrendous. I was hoping we're going to get Minamino, Jota. We were going to see some youngsters playing maybe. He said about the Greek left back as well. I was like, please, not Andy Robertson. So to be honest, we don't know, do we, what Klopp's going to play. You've had a lot of games within the space of a few days, so I'm just hoping that those players that you just said aren't playing.
Right, I've got to ask you this. Prediction for the game? What are you going for?
On my preview, I said 1-1. I think I'm being positive there. I think it could. If we go 1-0 down early, I think we'll just capitulate. I'm going to be honest. I think we've been so bad defensively this season, which that was kind of the bedrock of the Sheffield United side the season before, and the season before, and the season before. So I think how badly we've been playing defensively, I think, you could go a couple of goals up early and it could be a cricket score, if I'm being honest. But I'm hoping that's obviously not going to happen. I hope we can at least get to half-time, not conceding, build from there, hopefully nick a goal somehow, get a penalty, score from a corner, something like that. But I'm going to say 1-1, but I think it could easily be 2 or 3-0.
Oh, interesting. Right, so you're going 1-1. That is very, very ambitious, but you never know. You never know with 90 minutes. Just see what happens. There's no crowd, of course, but that's going to be really interesting. My prediction for the game, I'm going to go 3-1, and I'm not saying. I actually think you'll score.
We've not scored many this season, so that would be nice.
I've just got a feeling Brewster's going to start, and I've just got a feeling he's going to score.
I hope you're right.
I've just had this feeling in my head all day from coming on to do this preview. I've just had a feeling he's going to score. I'm going to go for Bobby Firmino to actually break his duck, because he does need a goal. He's not been scoring recently.
Has he not scored this season?
Not this season so far. Wow. So I'm going to go for Firmino to break his duck. And then I'm going to go for Mane to get the other one. And then I think all the front three are going to score. So I'll go for Salah to score the third. But it's going to be a really interesting game. Unfortunately, it's on pay-per-view, which really bugs me.
I was hoping, because it was Liverpool, we'd actually be able to watch this without having to pay 15 quid. But it's frustrating, because we're not going to be on TV that much this season. You guys obviously will. I'd love to. I'm guessing people will do the maths at the end of the season and find out who's paid like how much and stuff like that. I can't see us, especially with this how badly we've started this season. I can't see Sky and BT kind of falling over themselves to put us on prime time Sky Sports or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to be paying a lot of money this season. So yeah, it's frustrating. I would have hoped that the Liverpool and the City matches and the Man United matches were going to be on, but not to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Nick, it has been an absolute pleasure to speak and meet you as well, as it has been really a pleasure. Where can we find you on your socials?
You're asking me now. So I'm a YouTuber, do Sheffield United videos, In Good Nick, the Sheffield United way. My Instagram is InGoodNick17 and my Twitter is InGoodNick17.
There we go. Go and follow him. Go and subscribe to him. He does very, very good stuff on Sheffield United, and especially an interview with Kevin Gage, which I will leave up in the eye, which you can go over and check, and I'll leave that in the eye as well. But yeah, guys, let us know your starting 11s in the prediction in the comment section down below. Let us know your prediction for the game as well. And as I said, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Sheffield United and Liverpool tomorrow at Anfield. Yeah, 8 o'clock pay-per-view. But just get a radio. Just get a radio. Just listen to it on the radio. Don't be one of those ones that pays £15 and goes and watch it. Just get a radio. That's what I'm going to do anyway. But anyway, guys, until then, it has been an absolute pleasure to speak to Nick. And yeah, after this game, I wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, guys, if you are new around here, then please hit that subscribe button. Smash the like on this video as well. Go and check out Nick's channel as well. Go and subscribe to him as well. And we'll see what happens. And hopefully the Reds get back to winning ways. Well, not from Nick's point of view, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, speak to you later. Take care. Bye-bye.